Right, brew tubers, I'm doing a video. They've been a bit few and far between lately, but life gets a bit busy. I am still brewing. What have I got at the moment? I've got a single malt whiskey that I'm doing, and I've got a going to be like a moonshine. It's mostly flaked corn with a little bit of distiller's malt in it. It's going to be made in some moonshine, so you can tell I'm doing a bit of distilling. The moonshine probably won't keep it as moonshine. It will be made into some sort of Christmas type liqueurs. Got a few ideas for that, so we're putting those down. Oh, I get more time. The idea is I was just going to put those on and let them ferment out over these busy months I have at work. So yeah, so they've been chucking along quite nicely. One I used, I was a bit worried about what yeast to use. So one's got an M44 and the other one has M42, which I was very, very impressed with that one. First time I've ever had a total blowout. It filled up. I actually got rid of the little popper valve and just put a hose into a water bucket, and yeah, that had to be changed every 2 or 3 days, and that was also two times a day for about 3 days. So it was just nuts. Great thing is, because there was so much spewing out, I was able to collect, and so much of the yeast was actually being chucked out into my little water bucket. I was able to collect a massive amount of slurry. Actually, I might just quickly grab it. Actually, just pause this, press that. Sweet. Yeah, so that's pretty much how much slurry I was able to collect. So I'm going to try that, and I might do a porter. Put that up there. So yeah, what am I putting down tonight is I'm rebrewing a brew that I've just finished. Sorry, beer I've just finished in my keg, which was a mango sour. We used Philly yeast, and it was a very, very interesting beer. I was almost going to chuck it out. So me overdoing it as normal, I decided to do a yeast starter with the Philly yeast. I'm not sure if too many people have done that, but chucked it in and it went nuts. And I did a pH reading on about day 3 or 4, and it was down to a pH of 2.4. I mean, oh, that's rubbish. So I came in here, recalibrated my pH meter, it was all correct, went out, got exactly the same reading again, 2.4. So I thought, oh, this thing's going to be bloody vinegar. So I took some off, tried it, tastes quite nice. So I immed and for about another week until I dry hopped it. So what I did, instead of putting in the hops at high Krausen like I normally do for a hazy, I actually put the 2 kilos of mango pulp in to do the biotransformation that makes a hazy. And then on day 7 I then dry hopped with 300 grams of hops, which was 50-50 of Nectaron and Mosaic, which just goes, Nectaron and Mosaic are an unbelievably good combination. It goes really well. But yeah, I was really umming about doing this dry hop on this beer because it's a lot of hops to do in a beer that you're going to chuck out. So in and out. Anyway, I think I might have posted a bit on BrewTube. A few people said comments, well, look, if it tastes good, take a punt. So I did, and it's actually ended up being one of the best beers I've brewed for a long time. Absolutely stunning beer to drink. I might try and get, it might be the last off the keg tonight, but it's been an absolute stunning beer to drink. Been a very forgiving keg. I've been thinking the last 2 or 3 nights it was going to run out, and I just keep being able to pull one more glass off it, which has been great. So yeah, the So the temptation was to do exactly the same brew again. One feedback when I did give it to some people though was they said, "Oh, mangoes, you don't expect mangoes to be tart." It's funny how preconception can really drive some people sometimes. So their preconception of a mango always being sweet, not being tart. I thought it was outstanding because it just gave you another perspective, and it was just really nice to drink. So I was going to go down the raspberry route, but I can't get raspberries. We're in lockdown here in New Zealand at the moment. Should come out soon. So yeah, can't get raspberries. But we did have a little side project that we never got around to this year, was doing a kettle sour passion fruit beer, which we did one years ago, and it was sublime. You tasted this beer a year later, and it was just phenomenal. So the idea was we were going to do a big 20 litre batch of the sour with the passion fruit pulp, and bottle it and just leave it. But can't do that. So we've decided to use the passion fruit pulp tonight. So it's going to be it's funny with how we're souring it with the filler yeast. You don't get, well, from my one experience of the one beer I have had, you don't get a sour beer, you get a tart beer. So being a little, with passion fruit being a bit tarty, a bit sharp, I think it's going to go really well. So now for a 23 litre brew, I think I've got about 1.3 litres of passion fruit pulp. Seeds are taken out. We got to chuck them through. We call them moolies. It's kind of like a stainless steel bowl that has a sieve on the bottom, and you have an auger, and the auger's constantly pushing everything down. So you push the pulps through, but it actually leaves all the seeds behind. It's fantastic. You leave with this beautiful clean pulp at the end of it with no seeds in it. So we're going to use that, so that will go in. So we'll brew this, put this mash down, and we'll put in the fermenter tonight with the yeast, the 2.4 starter. I'll probably put it in the Firmzilla. Got a snub nose. I'll probably put it in. So with that yeast starter, I'm picking probably late tomorrow. It'll be ready for the passion fruit pulp, and they'll be hunky dory till about day 7, which I'll look about putting the dry hops in. Now, get this to start up again. The recipe. Come on, turn around. There we go. Technology can be a bit slow, can't it? Just get the tablet here. Right. So the mango one was called Big Boy Brutus. So this is Big Boy Complex, and the malt bill is 2 kilos of ale malt. Most of these are, well, one of them isn't. Most of these are Gladfields malt, but you can flick it around to whatever you want. So 2 kilos of ale malt, 1.2 kilos of wheat malt, 0.9 of what they call Big O, which is a malted oat. I like using it because it's fantastic for sparging, and I'm actually tending to put a lot more oat in my beers just for the body. So saying that, so I got 0.9 of Big O, and then I've actually got 0.9 of golden naked oats, and then 0.2 of a dextrin malt, which we use Gladiator. So what do we? It's about 38% ale malt, 23% wheat malt, and yeah, we're knocking on 34% oats with the Big O and the golden naked oats, and of course the 4% Gladiator malt. But it makes it good body. Another style that I'm seeing coming through now is this almost like a cream ale, which is, I suppose, is just a more of an oaty version of a New England IPA. Most of my recipes seem to be going that way now, but it makes it really smooth, well-bodied, creamy, just yum. And you put the right hops with it, fantastic. So we're talking hops here. So we're going to go in with 10 grams of Mosaic at 10 minutes, Raku at 5 minutes, Raku at 10 minutes, sorry, hang on. So that's at 5 minutes it was 15 grams of raku. And then there's a hop stand of 50 grams of mosaic and 50 grams of raku. 10 minutes, 80 degrees. Tends to be what the standard I do. Now the dry hop is quite a big dry hop, 300 grams. So 100 grams of Galaxy, 100 grams of mosaic, and a new hop that I'm trying. It's one of these Mexican, newer Mexican hops, very much like Sabro, Medusa, Zappa. This is Zampa, yeah, Zampa. So that's the 100 grams of that. So most of these are giving. I've chosen them because they give you a nice tropical and passion fruit notes. So trying to isolate those different characters that I want. And yeah, the fully sour yeast and the 1.3 litres of passion fruit pulp. So yeah, pretty standard. Should be bloody nice. So actually I'll just go and get a glass of the... Yeah, I've got a glass up there. So I'm just going to get a glass of the mango. Right, I'm back. So, there we go. I just spilt some. So luckily, yep, there's another pint off it tonight. Though I do think that might be the last. Not much head, but it's still with the amount of fruit that's in it. Even though I chuck a bit of extra malt in for a bit of body. Yeah, I do pick it because of the amount of fruit that's in it that makes it dissipate, but it's bloody... The smell, yeah, it's that the mango fruit pulp on the smell it just comes through, and then you just get that hint of hey mate, this might be a bit sour, just on the nose. And yeah, the sourness only really comes in on the back end, and like I say, it's not really a sourness, it's more of a tartness, which I don't know whether... I need to investigate more styles a bit more of the sours, because maybe this is more like a Berliner and I think the profile that I've done on Grandfather is for a Berliner Weiss. So yeah, but yep, I'm looking forward to for the passion fruit version. They're nice going into summer. When summer arrives. But yeah, got a lot more beers to do. I've actually got a couple of ciders to do tonight, actually. Just a couple of kits. I did with my daughter. Sorry, it's carrying on a bit. I'm waffling along. I did one with my daughter 8 months ago, and it was... Let's see if I got the right one. No, the other one. This is a raspberry and lime. There we go. And yeah, I think I replaced the table sugar with dextrose and pressure. Did all the proper things we do with beer and fermented it out really well. And it was stunning. It was as good as what you buy in the shops. Probably better actually, because it's only costing me $1. I think $1 a litre by the time you get it all sorted. So got that to do. So raspberry and lime, and we got another one too, the peach and passion fruit. So put those on kegs, and I'll bottle some, and yeah, it's great. So, but yeah, that's me, guys. That's what I'm doing. I'm still here, about to upgrade things a little bit. We're gearing up to better facilities than what I've got here, and yeah, sort of upgrading gear. It's all in the pipeline, not far away actually. So yeah, watch this space. But I'll leave it there. It's long enough, and but this is... I'm still in the land of the living, so I'm still here. And yeah, have a good one, guys.